Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name is Dave Burney. A happy Monday to you. Yes, it is Monday. Hard to tell these days, isn't it? The 30th day of December. And tomorrow we begin to wind things down for 2024 and look forward to the next year, 2025. $7:31. Few sprinkles this morning under a cloudy sky. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. Pretty comfortable. All right, let's take a look real quick before we forget here today. The menu for the Prairie Pioneer Center for today is chili hot dogs, mac and cheese, carrots, and fruit on this Monday. And again, they'll have the kitchen open today and tomorrow. And then on Thursday and Friday, they'll have delivery or pickup only. And we'll give you those menu items when they arrive here in the new year. Jeremy has just arrived. Good morning, Jeremy. How you doing?
Good morning.
How's things?
Good.
Got your 75th anniversary T-shirt on, and
yes.
You know that's going to be a collector's item January 1st.
Yeah. The official year that we turn 75 will be passed. Even though it was not that long ago, we officially turned 75.
Yeah, I guess we could celebrate till September.
Yeah.
Of next year if we wanted to. But we had a lot of fun with that this past year. I hope you folks out there had something good to remember in 2024. We had a lot of news that wasn't that much fun to have on the radio, but there was a lot of good things as well. Happened to catch something yesterday about that. Sometimes we get wrapped up in all the big bad news stories and forget to look at all the good things that have happened, and there's been plenty of those as well. So we'll concentrate on those in 2025 as well. All right, so how was your weekend?
Good. It was really good.
Good. Well, it should be. You're a Husker fan, and that went well.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm glad, because I don't know. I think a lot of people out there would agree with me where if you're in your first bowl game in nearly a decade, you'd like to win the thing. Because if you get there and then you lose, you not only have to be sad about it yourself, which, I mean, you get over it eventually, but then you're just wondering what's next all off season long. Now you can just end the season on a high and just be okay.
Yeah. And they had to make it exciting. It was one of those games that kind of like, well, I'm glad Nebraska's winning, but a lot of hard-hitting, good action, but it wasn't the most exciting ball game.
Nasty weather, too.
Yeah,
they were playing in a
good.
swamp, essentially, and then they changed right from that game to the Pop-Tarts Bowl right after it. It's gorgeous, sunny. There's palm trees in the logo. You can see everything. There's no rain. So maybe I was kind of joking around on Twitter. I said maybe that's the goal next year is to not play in a swamp under a bunch of nasty gray clouds. Maybe make it to a little bit higher of a bowl.
Yeah. Well, you know, we know a few people that actually were there, and you folks out there listening probably had somebody in your circle that you knew made it to New York, and it would have been kind of neat to be where Aaron Judge and all the players play, but you looked like you were kind of far away from the field because it is a baseball field, and it was really sloppy, especially on one end, but it was loose footing everywhere. But it would have been kind of a cool place to see a football game because it's kind of unusual, and I don't know, a lot of history there, even though it hasn't been around all that long. The old stadiums are long gone, but yeah, I don't know. I think the folks that we knew had a great time, and they said the seating where they were was pretty good. So I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like there was plenty of it.
There was plenty, especially upper decks. Yeah, and I don't know, just seemed like everybody was enjoying themselves, and except for the coach of the opposite team, he was not a very happy camper.
No, he was not happy. And I think the main thing when it comes to sports and what a lot of us struggle to do is look at things objectively. If it was flipped the other way around, how would you feel about something like that? And it's easy when you're a fan of one team to say, you get over it. Looking at that play, if that went the other way around, I'd be furious as well if I was him. I think they kind of got worked over on that one a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think most people in their hearts would be exactly the way you're talking about if it was the other way around, because it's all about timing when a quarterback slides. And I think maybe he I wouldn't say he overreacted, but he come up kind of like, you shouldn't have hit me. But when you watch the replay, it really wasn't that way.
Yeah, and I think he said in the post-game press conference, he said, I was just trying to get a little fire. And in the moment, I said, you know what? I think he is making, for a freshman quarterback, he's making quite the move right now, because Boston College had taken all of the momentum. Momentum was on their side, and he hopped up and stuck his chin in something that I think he knew was a slide and a hit that he took that was legal. But he hopped up and got involved and got his team to rally around him. And then 2 plays later, they went out and got the first down and sealed the game. Yeah. So I like to think it went that way.
Well,
who knows?
It was a big moment, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, 5-point difference. I don't know how that worked with the bookies, but they were favored. You said last week that Nebraska was favored.
Yeah, last I saw was 4.
Oh, really?
But I don't know. I didn't check it, within hours of the game, so maybe that changed a little bit. But it was floating right around what they were looking at for the spread.
Well, you have to wonder these days, and it's fair to wonder on both sides of the ball, what would have happened if both teams had all their players there due to either injury or deciding not to play because they were going on to something else. But I thought they matched up pretty good. It was a hard-hitting ball game.
Yeah.
And it was fun to watch. I think it got a little more exciting at the end than most Nebraskans would have liked to have had it be. And, there's some speculation I saw that they felt like if things would have went just a little differently, Nebraska could have won by 30 points. But you have a blocked extra point, you have a block punt, and everything's different. So, but I made it fun. And now they've been to a bowl. They can build on this win, and I think everybody's already excited about what next year is going to bring with that freshman quarterback being a sophomore, and all the players that are staying and all the ones that they're courting with right now. So, in college, on the Husker side, a lot of exciting things to look forward to. The basketball team is doing really well this year, very competitive, and both boys and girls are doing well and are going to be fun to watch this winter. So we have more Husker sports to broadcast here on KBBN, and look forward to that.
A lot in January to start, not just January, but this upcoming few days in particular. We've got quite a bit to bring your direction.
Speaking of sports, on the high school side, I was thinking this morning about our broadcast tomorrow on New Year's Eve day. I don't remember having a broadcast of high school sports on New Year's Day. We probably have done it somewhere along the line, but in recent times I don't remember it. But we're going to be doing that tomorrow at high noon.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing that one on radio and video, so keep your eyes out for that. And the girls' game tips at noon, so that's another thing to keep in mind. If you're working on New Year's Eve and can't make it to the game, you can watch or listen to it, whichever is most convenient for you.
Sandhills Thedford at Ansley Litchfield. And as mentioned, it's a noon tip. Then on Wednesday, on New Year's Day, Nebraska women's basketball at USC, pregame at 1:30 p.m. And then on Thursday, back to high school, girls and boys basketball, Broken Bow at Hershey at 6 p.m. On Saturday, Nebraska men's basketball at UCLA, pregame at noon. On Sunday, Nebraska women's basketball taking on Penn State, pregame 1:30. So, yeah, lots and lots of Husker and high school sports coming up in 2025. Still weird to say 2025 when your head's back at 1995. I mean, it just seems like you blink and 10 years go by anymore.
Yes.
Crazy. So let's get a little music going. And we have the grocery cart specials coming up and some other things to talk about this morning. So keep your dial set right where it's at on KCNI, KBBN Radio, or online at kbbn.com or kcni1280.com. Here's Myron Elkins, Hands to Myself. Breakfast show on a Monday at 7:44. Let's play the game on this Monday, see if we can give away a pizza prize.
Okay, we're continuing with our questions talking about a review of 2024. So we're playing for a free personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut in Broken Bow. So if you know the answer, call us at 872-2801. Simple question. We're asking where the 2024 Summer Olympics were held. Was it Oslo, Paris, New York City, or Beijing? If you know, call us at 872-2801.
Dave and Brent.
You two guys.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
Are you afraid of falling? Team Physical Therapy can help. 872-5111. Good balance is essential for a healthy, active life. Team Physical Therapy is here to help you stay healthy, improve your balance, and keep you active. 872-5111. Our highly trained physical therapist will design a personalized plan for you to help you improve your stability, decrease risk of falling, and get you back to doing what you love. Don't let that balance issue keep you at home, or if it does, we can come to you. Call Team Physical Therapy, 872-5111.
We've got Buddy on the line. Buddy, though, kind of mentioned that the cell is a little sketchy where he's at. Are you still there, Buddy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Raining.
It's raining out. We had a little sprinkle here so far, not too much. Drive carefully. Go ahead.
About 3 miles before Westerville.
Okay, and you're running into rain. Good to know. All right, here's Jeremy with your question.
All right, buddy. The 2024 Summer Olympics, Oslo, Paris, New York City, or Beijing?
Paris.
That's right, yes.
All right, Pizza Hut, pizza coming your way when you come out and see us, buddy. Drive careful.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yep, Happy
You too.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, 7:46. Yes, Happy New Year to you all. We can start saying that every once in a while now as it nears the just after midnight moment where some of you will be up and some of you won't. Some of you will bring in the new year and some of you will be snoring.
Mm-hmm.
It's your choice. It'll still be there tomorrow, or when you get up the next day, I should say. All right, let's check out the grocery cart specials. They just brought out some new ones for us. They got some bonus points going on. And here's Jeremy with some specials for you.
Yep, these ad specials start today, and they go through January 5th. Is what we'll start with. So I'll give you a read of those. 80% lean ground beef in a 10-pound tube, $2.98 a pound. Ribeye steak, certified Angus beef, of course, $15.98 per pound. In frozen foods, you can get Jack's pizzas for $2.98. Red Baron pizzas are $3.98. Best Choice chunk cheeses are $3 for $5. You can get tubes of Pillsbury Grand's crescent rolls. Those are $2 for $6. Also remember that Senior Day is every Thursday with free home delivery. It's always something good to keep in mind. If you want to stock up on Coca-Cola products, in a 6-pack of the bottles, those are $2 for $9. Also Coke products in some other different varieties, the 12 packs of the 12-ounce cans or the 8 packs of the 12-ounce bottles. Those are $5.98 each. Flipping over the sheet here, we'll talk about what's going on in the deli this week. Of course, open 8 to 6 every single day, just closed Saturday and Sunday. Kretschmar Black Angus roast beef, $12.98 a pound. Kretschmar mild cheddar cheese, $5.98 a pound, fresh out of the deli. And Mrs. Gary's spring salad, $3.98 a pound. Your specials this week, if you want to go enjoy lunch with them: meatloaf today, goulash tomorrow, dirty rice on Wednesday, shepherd's pie on Thursday, and pasta favorites on Friday. So keep those in mind. As we approach the New Year holiday, lots of great things going on in the beer cave at the back of the store. If you've never been in GK Wine and Spirits, you should swing in there. Wide variety of items to choose from. They've got champagne, of course. Almacita champagne, $13.98 a bottle. Rosada Moscato, $15.98. A wide variety of Bud and Busch products in those 12 packs, $14.98. Mike's Hard Lemonade 6 packs are $9.98, and you can get handles of Pendleton whiskey for $48.98. And last but certainly not least, let's talk bonus rewards. If you have not signed up for rewards yet, you should. You get free items when you see those items on the shelf, and you can also earn points on certain bonus items, as well as earning points for each dollar you spend as well. California Halos Mandarins, $4.98, earn 500 points. Hillshire Farm Flatbread Sandwiches, $4.98, earn 500 points. If you want to get some sausage, some pork sausage in your freezer, good to have on hand, $3.98, and you get 400 points. And it's always good to have microwave popcorn on hand. 3-count packages are $1.98, and for each one you get 200 points. And then, of course, the few items that you can there's 12 different items going on right now through January 5th that you can buy completely with points, including Puff's tissues, Mr. D's hash brown patties, Best Choice foam cups, Best Choice peanut butter, Sunny D juice, Heinz ketchup, the big 38-ounce bottle you can buy completely with points. We're entering the soup season, so if you want some Zesta saltine crackers, you can buy those with the points you've racked up. And Pop Secret popcorn, the 6-count, you can buy completely with points as well at the grocery cart in Broken Bow.
And open 7 days a week, plenty of parking out front or on the west side of the store. And even when it looks very, very busy, you'll find plenty of room inside to do your shopping and look for those unannounced specials, the tags all over the store as well.
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, Captain.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
$7:55, we'll have weather and news for you at the top. Let's take a look at some birthdays today. Tiger Woods, 49 today, Jeremy.
He's trying to get back in shape. I think he was hoping to play more golf very, very soon. I'm not sure if he has gotten back on recently.
He was playing with his son. They have the tournament where the pros bring either a daughter or a son or a grandson and play, and he was playing in that a couple weeks ago. He looked pretty sharp. Of course, the announcers were all excited. They get excited anytime he plays. Ratings always go up when Tiger's on the course. And he and his son, I believe they won it in extra holes. So,
cool.
Yeah. So he's 49 today. First of all, we should note that he's had 82 wins in his career, more than anyone other than Jack Nicklaus. So
it's kind of wild when you look at even the most successful golfers from today. They would have to sustain that success for a decade to even touch what he was doing at the peak of his career. It's just wild.
A lot of them start out hot, and you think, hey, maybe they're the next one, and then life gets a hold of them, and they slow down. But Tiger did not. Patti Smith is 78 today, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, considered one of the most influential members of the New York City punk rock scene, and she is 78 today. Jeff Lynne, Hall of Famer, founded the Electric Light Orchestra, was a member of the supergroup Traveling Wilburys with Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, George Harrison, and Roy Orbison. That had to have been a fun stretch in life. He is 77 today. And Paul Stuckey is 87. If that doesn't ring a bell, you remember the popular 60s folk trio Peter, Paul, and Mary. Had several hits like Puff the Magic Dragon and Leaving on a Jet Plane. And they covered a lot of Bob Dylan's music during that period of time when he was in folk. And there's now a movie out featuring that time period when Bob Dylan was king of the folk scene, and some history there, and it's getting well received. I understand the actor who was playing Bob Dylan studied Bob Dylan's music and his life for about 5 years. So he's really, and he sings everything in the movie. I still want to see that. But here's one that Peter, Paul, and Mary covered, and a lot of other people as well.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
Go, go, go!
On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News special report. President Biden says former President Jimmy Carter's death isn't just a loss for Americans.
Millions of people all around the world, all over the world, feel they lost a friend as well, even though they never met him.
Historian Douglas Brinkley tells CBS Mornings his post-presidential achievements are his true legacy.
That he won a Nobel Peace Prize, which represents for him all the work he did at stopping civil wars around the world, of monitoring free and fair elections, of combating river blindness, guinea worm disease, tuberculosis, leprosy, you name it.
But Carter friend and advisor Stuart Eisenstadt says some of his presidential achievements are often unfairly overlooked.
The energy independence or security that we have today rests on his three major energy bills, which deregulated oil and gas, started the whole solar and renewable energy revolution.
CBS News special report. I'm Peter King.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Here's a look at Nebraska news. In a story released by KSMB, a Harvard woman was cited following a series of trespassing incidents in Harvard on Saturday. The Clay County Sheriff's Office was called to the 800 block of North Harvard Avenue after a resident reported an unknown individual breaking into their home. According to the Sheriff's Office, deputies worked to secure and clear the first residence when the Clay County Communications Center received a second call from a nearby house, reporting that an unknown individual had entered their garage. The Sheriff's Office said deputies moved to the second house and were in the process of securing it when the Communications Center received a third call involving the same individual. The Sheriff's Office apprehended Donna Collins, age 34, of Harvard. Collins was cited with 2 counts of first-degree criminal trespass and 1 count of criminal mischief and 1 count of attempted assault of an officer. This has been a Nebraska News Update. I'm Jack Simpson reporting for Central Nebraska's news source.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Steve DeSager.
In the Sunday night NFL game in Washington, the Commanders in overtime beat Atlanta 30-24, so Washington clinches a playoff berth, and that makes the LA Rams NFC West champs. Seattle is out. Next weekend, the Sunday night finale will be Minnesota at Detroit to decide that division and the #1 seed in the NFC. Minnesota won its 9th straight game, beating Green Bay 27-25. Miami's still alive in the AFC playoff chase after the Dolphins won at Cleveland 20-3. The Giants had lost 10 in a row, but they beat Indianapolis 45-33. The Colts have been eliminated. Wins for the Raiders and Jaguars. Tampa Bay 48-14 over Carolina. The Bucs will be in the playoffs next week with a win against New Orleans. Buffalo clinched a 2 seed in the AFC after ripping the Jets 40-14. Philadelphia 41-7 over Dallas. Philly clinched the NFC East title with that win.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Cloudy today with a chance for mixed precipitation. High of 41, northwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies. Tonight, mixed precipitation likely changing to all snow. Lows dip down to about 23. About an inch of snow tonight with another dusting Wednesday night. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
When someone asks me, when is the best time to start saving for retirement, my answer is simple. It's today. Hi, I'm Tim McCaslin.
And I'm Janet Lawhorn,
your local Edward Jones financial advisors. We can help you build a plan for your ideal retirement by identifying your unique goals and help you keep on track to achieve them. The sooner you get started, the better. Call us at 872-6849 or visit edwardjones.com to schedule an appointment today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
It's 8:05. Let's go outside and see what it really feels like with Happy Jack. Jack?
Well, 39 degrees outside, cloudy skies. Not much wind. They're showing calm southeast-south. Barometric pressure is at 29.57 and humidity at 74%. Trace of rain in the last 24 hours. The precipitation for this month will stay in 100s. High yesterday, 55. Overnight low was 36. Sunrise today was at 8:04 and sunset today at 5:18.
All right, Jack. Thank you very much. Is it raining at all?
Not yet, but there was definitely some rain this morning, but it's pretty not raining right now, so.
All right. Thanks, Jack.
Yep.
8:06, and we heard it was raining east of here on Buddy's route to Broken Bow. A few sprinkles on the windshield this morning. Are they still, I guess, they were talking earlier about snow and all of this on today's forecast, and
I can look.
I'm not sure. Jack probably just told us, but I was struggling with a headset, folks. I had my headset ear pad out of gear, and I couldn't get it back in place. And Jeremy was trying to help me. So anyway, it's good to have you folks along here on this Monday. Doesn't seem like a Monday. I don't know what day it does seem like, but this pair of holidays really messes some of us up. Seems like for what day it is, especially if you had a day off or two out there. Beautiful weather this weekend. Took a couple walks, and my goodness, temperatures in the 50s at the end of December. Wind wasn't blowing hard. There's people out riding their bikes yesterday. And, beautiful.
70% chance, what they're calling for still, according to what I'm looking at. Less than an inch of snow possible. Light snow, basically. And, gonna kind of be on that, since it's been on that warmer side, kind of see some light snow for a little bit, maybe some rain.
All right. We'll want to be careful with that, because if it does start mixing with snow and raining a little bit, we'll want to be careful. The other day we were talking here in the morning that it didn't happen to be slick here. They forecast that it was going to be right here in the immediate Broken Bow area, but there were a couple accidents outside of town. So just have to kind of be, real alert when you're kind of on the edge of freezing, or you got a snow with rain mix. And we hope that all gets resolved before tomorrow night, New Year's Eve night. We also know that our law officials will be out patrolling the roads more than usual tomorrow night. And if you really want to start your new year out right, take along a driver with you. If you're going to go out and do some dancing and party in the new year, have somebody to drive, or somebody drop you off and come and get you, because you don't really want to start the new year in an orange suit.
No.
That would not be a good way to start it.
No.
Or have an accident.
Or have an accident, yeah. I'd venture to guess that a lot of you out there that are planning on partying and having some fun have somebody that is not going to be doing so, that would much rather you give them a call and have them come and pick you up, pop you home, rather than have you get in an accident. So
yeah. Or you can really pull a fast one, invite people over to your place.
Yes.
So you don't have to drive.
Mm-hmm.
And then if somebody maybe has one cocktail too many, you can drive them home.
Yep. There you go. The shuttle service.
Yeah. It can all be worked out, but be real careful out there. If we got this weather kind of moving in and everybody's excited about bringing in the new year, we don't really want to hear about an accident that kind of ruins the start of the year. So be very, very careful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 2 more days of the Custer County Salvation Army's bell ringing. And we mentioned the other day that we happened to be in the bank when they were in. Pastor Phil and was turning in some cash at the bank and was hoping to raise some more. 90% of the money raised from the bell ringing stays right here in Custer County and does good things for people here, which is really a nice thing to be able to announce, because sometimes when you make donations to large organizations, you wonder how much goes to, quote, administrative costs and that sort of thing. So this, you can be assured, will stay here and do some good. So if you're out and about, and there's somebody ringing a bell, or you see the red bucket in one of the stores in Custer County, drop a little money in to finish the year. And I imagine you can still sign up, and maybe you want to ring a bell tomorrow afternoon or evening or tonight or this afternoon. There's still room, I'm sure.
Yep, still room, and you can call any of those numbers that are on that poster if you need help. It's kind of hard to understand the sign-up sheet, especially if you open it up in on a mobile device. It's kind of hard to read. So you can just call them and say, hey, what times are available? I can ring at such and such a time, and they'll tell you when to get there. And like they've been saying, if you can go for 15 minutes, a half hour, or an hour, any little bit helps. So help out that great organization. Chances are you yourself, or certainly somebody that you know, has been positively impacted by something the Salvation Army does. So please support it.
All right. Thank you very much. We are hoping in 2025 that we get more music just like this. This is from Johnny Blue Skies. It's called Mint Tea.
KCNI, KBBN.
This is Stuart Fox of Nebraska State Bank. We'd like to sincerely thank our customers for their support and business this past year. We look forward to serving you and Custer County for many years to come. From the NSB family to yours, we hope you have a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Nebraska State Bank and Trust Company, member FDIC.
Happy New Year from your friends at Varney Pharmacy, just across the street from the square in downtown Broken Bow. They're looking forward to a new year of serving you, their customers, with quality pharmacy products and everything from greeting cards to yard decor. Remember, Varney Pharmacy will close at 2 p.m. on New Year's Eve and will be closed on New Year's Day. Happy New Year. They'll see you in 2025 at Varney Pharmacy in Broken Bow.
8:16 is your time. Thanks for listening to The Breakfast Show on this Monday. It's Gary Caston's birthday today. And Gary is celebrating his birthday. He is so young.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't realize he was this young. He's only 70 today.
Wow.
Way to go, Gary.
Happy birthday.
Gary Caston celebrating his 70th birthday here on the 30th day of December. And we hope you have a great day, Gary. You know, with the holiday this close, Gary, you can just celebrate all the way through to the first of the year.
So I always say, yeah.
You're one of those birthdays around between Christmas and New Year's. Fits pretty good for celebrating. And I think Gary knows how to celebrate.
Yeah, you get to see lots of family and friends, and just kind of you get some days off.
Yeah, hopefully Gary will take a day off on his birthday. All right, if you're thinking, I've been going to do this, I want to make some donations before the end of the year, and I've been going to take care of this, you still have time. And, of course, you can still make your donation after the first of the year as well to the Broken Bow Story Walk project at Melham Park. And this is going to combine reading and the great outdoors. It promotes reading, physical activity, family time together in nature. This is a project between the City of Broken Bow and the Broken Bow Parks Department, the Broken Bow Library, and the citizens of our community. Now, there'll be stands with pages on them, and each page will have a heavy plastic and steel setup, which is weather resistant. And the Broken Bow Library will change the story every 4 to 6 weeks. I know you did a story on this last week. It's on Sandhills Express. Each page exhibit costing about $315, and they're shooting for 25 pages that will be spread out along the walking path at Melham Park. The city will install and place them, and they hope to raise the funds by spring of 2025 and begin planning and building this coming summer. They have applied for some grants, but they're also taking donations, and you'll have your name on the stand if you make the donation, so it could be your grandkids, someone in your family, whoever, somebody that you a loved one you lost. It's all up to you. And if you'd like more information, contact Megan at the Broken Bow Public Library. She is the director. Or call 872-2927. There's also some volunteers out. I know Bev Squeezos stopped by here at the radio station, and of course we made a donation, and I think we also made one from the family because we wanted to get some people's names on those stands. And of course my wife's a big reader and former director of the library, so that makes sense. But if you have a desire to do so, just call 872-2927, and they'd love to include you in that walk.
Very cool project.
It's going to be fun, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going to be ordering some materials in spring in hopes of having that completely installed by the time they reach summer. And basically, if you start walking up by that new picnic shelter, it'll loop all the way around and up to near where the playground is, and you can enjoy a story piece by piece along your walk.
Yeah, it's going to be. There's a lot of people that walk up there anymore around the lake, and it's a great place to walk. You're off the roadway, and a nice wide sidewalk, and yeah, it's going to be another great addition to Melham Park, and to encourage kids to read and families to read together. So that's going to be something to look forward to in 2025. Any resolutions, Jeremy Shipe?
None that I've come up with so far. There's a couple things I'd like to do in the new year a little bit differently, but I wouldn't say they're like major life-changing resolutions, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to exercise more, but I'm not going to make a big I'm going to exercise every day for a half hour sort of thing. I just like to get out and take those walks and do a little exercising at home, but nothing major. I think you feel better when you do it. It's just getting started.
I think some people need that resolution side of things because they know that if they don't challenge themselves, it's probably not going to go well. And then other people just kind of know that if they say it, they are going to follow through more often than not. We're all different. We all have different schedules and different ways that we conduct our lives. So whatever works for you. But getting bent out of shape completely about a resolution is not really, unless it's something major.
Yeah, a major personality change or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's just don't set the goal too high that you're going to fail, I guess is what we're thinking here. And it depends on what kind of couch you have.
Yeah.
Because there's couches that talk. I don't know if yours does, but mine every once in a while goes, Dave, come over here. Sit down. You don't need to go out and exercise. Sit down here and watch TV.
Yeah.
So sometimes you give in to that couch or that recliner or whatever your favorite chair is.
It can happen.
I also think these series on streaming channels now are damaging our ability to exercise.
Oh, yeah?
Well, how many of you out there have started watching one of those? A movie's okay, 90 minutes to a couple hours later, it's over and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
But these series that are, about an hour long, 45 minutes to an hour long, and then they roll right into the next one, you can get hooked.
Yes.
Pretty soon you've watched 3 of them in an afternoon and wondered where the day went.
Yes.
That's also something. Maybe that resolution should be posted in our house. Only one series segment at a time.
Yeah, one then done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they roll, you kind of notice they never run a commercial break at the end of something you're watching.
No.
It's always on to the next one quickly. They run the commercials in the middle because they know they got you hanging on to the edge of your seat. That's kind of the way. It's kind of scary. It used to be that shows and sitcoms, they just wrote a script and went and recorded them. And now there's, like everything else, so much research that goes into, well, we need to take this commercial break at this exciting point so that people continue to watch on the other side, or we need to do this, this, and this so this target audience gets addicted to watching this show. And there's a whole lot more that goes into it than just writing and recording a script.
The ones that really get me, and I like to watch them, my wife makes fun of me when I do. She has every right to do that, by the way. But I like the History Channel. I like sometimes the ones where, they're drilling for gold and maybe they're under the ocean looking at a ship that sunk and trying to figure out what happened to it. Those particular ones, they really, really have it set up to where you're watching more commercials than you are searching under the ocean for the ship.
Yes.
I mean, they just take commercial break after commercial break, and they always do what you said. They always lead up to it like they're going to tell you something when they come back. And when they come back, they actually go back a ways from where they started last time. And you don't really gain the information. They just keep you going.
Now you go backward because they got a recap.
Yeah, they
for
recap.
the people that came late. So then they recap, and then,
next
you're
thing
exactly
you know,
right.
You watch it for an hour, and at the end, it's over, and they haven't even solved it yet.
Something about those shows where you have no knowledge base at the beginning of the show on what you're actually watching, it's easier for them to hook you in as well. You talked about the gold mining one.
Yeah.
Kind of have like halfway decent about mining gold, what you're looking for and that there's fool's gold or whatever. But I came across channel surfing these guys that were mining jade or something, like jade stones.
Uh-huh.
And they have to get them up out of the mountain, and then they use this special cutting tool to cut them in half. I swear, 20 minutes of this show was waiting for this stone to cut in half so you could figure out whether it was good jade or not. And I'll be darned if I sat there and watched them.
I know.
Saw into this rock. Props to the guys behind the cameras and the writers to find enough creative camera angles to make cutting a rock in half exciting.
Yeah. They have one, first time I've watched it, it was just recently. It's about Alaska and these families up there trying to make a living mining for gold. How many ounces a day do they need to make this work with their machinery? And a lot of it's homemade. They make it themselves, construct it themselves. Now they have a show of two guys that come in and analyze their setup and help them rebuild and fine-tune it so that they can get more ounces per day. Have you seen that
It's
one?
like, no, it sounds like it's bar rescue, but for like
It is.
gold
It's
miners.
the same thing.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's the same thing. No, I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, don't even get me started on bar rescue. Do you like watching that guy yell and scream at people about how they're running their bars terribly?
I've not watched the whole thing, and they do that with restaurants as well. Food places, and then they hug and cry at the end when they walk in and it's all fixed up.
Yeah, how many times have you gone in to dine somewhere and you're like, man, John Tapper would really let these people have it. Send them into bar rescue. This is horrible.
And we're talking about shows that we've watched, folks. That's no wonder our wives make fun of us.
Nebraska Owners Insurance can help. With many ag carriers to choose from, I can provide farm, ranch, property, and liability coverage as well as pivot, livestock, and crop policies. Contact me today at Nebraska Owners Insurance Agency in Callaway or Broken Bow. I look forward to working with you.
Just like technology and all of this talk about AI, the world of construction and home design is always evolving too. At Ansley Lumber and Supply, they are committed to having the very latest in materials as well as the tools you need to tackle the job. Wanting to get in on the barn dominium craze? Well, Ansley Lumber and Supply has everything from the plans and framing to the windows, insulation, and shingle material you need. If your project is a little smaller than building a new home, they have what you need for those too. Ansley Lumber and Supply. Visit them on Main Street in Ansley.
Cattle producers, AeroSeed is your one-stop shop for power fencing needs. AeroSeed has all the supplies, including high-tensile wire, posts, insulators, and energizers to build or replace a solar, electric, or battery-operated system. They offer products from Gallagher, the most practical, affordable, and dependable range of animal management systems on the market. Should anything ever go wrong with your Gallagher Energizer, you won't have to send it off somewhere to be repaired. Most often it can be repaired right at AeroSeed. Get your Gallagher power fence and supplies from AeroSeed on North 10th Avenue, Broken Bow.
It's 8:30. You're listening to KCNI, KBBN Radio, Broken Bow, Nebraska. Good to have you along. The day is a little bit light for us for guests. Normally we have 2 or 3 guests a day. Today we have none at all. So
None.
It's all up to us to provide information to our listeners out there. I want to say good morning to Russ Babcock. He said good morning to us. So good morning, Russ. Thanks for listening. We appreciate that. Jeremy has a couple things here he can tell you about.
Want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I've got a couple things over here as well. So.
All right. Nebraska Department of Transportation has an exceptional opportunity for a highway maintenance worker to join their team in Ansley and Oconto. They reward their employees' hard work with a friendly and supportive work environment that encourages creativity and innovation. They provide training and career development, advancement opportunities, ample paid time off, work-life balance, and a comprehensive benefits package that includes a matching retirement contribution. So you need to go to statejobs.nebraska.gov online to apply. An online state application needs to be completed. They're an equal opportunity veterans preference employer at the Nebraska Department of Transportation.
All right, we would be amiss if we didn't mention the headline story this morning on the news that former President Jimmy Carter passed away yesterday at the age of 100. Nobel Peace Prize winner, our 39th president, and the longest living American president. His 77-year marriage to his late wife, Rosalind, was also the longest of any first couple. Carter, who was a nuclear scientist and peanut farmer from the Deep South, served one elected term in office, which was marked by economic uncertainty and unrest. But he also brokered a peace treaty between Israel and Egypt and reestablished diplomatic relations with China during his 4-year term. Aside from his political career, Carter was a well-admired man for his work and his donated work and activism. And President Carter is survived by 4 children, 12 grandchildren, and 14 great-grandchildren. And I know that President Carter was not all that popular during his term here in the Midwest because he had a grain embargo that he implemented that was not very popular with the ag sector. But I think most people, Jeremy, and I hope I'm right here because I certainly feel this way, Jimmy Carter was just a good man. He was just a fine human being. Maybe things would have been different if the economics would have been different during his term. Maybe not. Sometimes even presidents have things that are out of their control. His grain embargo was not popular, but he did make those great strides in peace between Israel and Egypt. So he had some good things happen during his term. I think a lot of people were as impressed or more impressed with Jimmy Carter after he was president. He helped build houses for people in need. He dedicated his life to helping other people. He was just a grand human being. Whether he had a good presidency or not, we'll leave that up to historians, but he was a good man. I think most people would agree to that.
Yeah, and he pushed aside his peanut farming. to do so.
He did. He did. And he had a kind of a rebellious brother that caused him some problems when he was president, too. Billy Beer. I don't know if you remember that. You're a young guy, but there was a Billy Beer that came out. That was his brother's brand. And that didn't really go well with Jimmy because he was not. He probably didn't drink any alcohol at all, I would imagine, just guessing. But yeah, and they kind of made fun of him. A peanut farmer becomes president and so on and so forth. But I think it counts as high as anything, whether you're a president or a leader of some kind, that your moral compass is in line, and certainly Jimmy Carter seemed to be. So 100 years old.
Yeah.
And 77 years of marriage. That's quite
wild.
Something too, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
So I'm sure you'll be hearing more about that during our reports with CBS News as we go along. We'll be right back with more after these words.
Rise and shine.
All right. The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
Hi, this is Andrew Mason with Pearson Physical Therapy, where we believe you should always receive the personalized attention you deserve. We use a collaborative approach to work together so we can help you achieve your goals. From post-surgical rehab and sprains and strains to back pain, arthritis, sports injuries, and everything in between. Come talk to us at Pearson Physical Therapy in Broken Bow, 872-5800.
Outlaws and Mustangs, Cody Jinks on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. I don't know if you heard about this one. You may have read this, Jeremy, because it's in some of our prep material, but I think it's a pretty cool story. When you lose a pet, it really wears on you because you keep thinking you're going to look out the back door and that pet's going to be back. And you'll hunt for it and you make calls and you post things, and some days that works and some days it never happens. The pet doesn't come back. But this was kind of a neat story. This missing dog comes back home. When it comes back home after being gone, I think for about 9 days, a German Shepherd, it rang the doorbell.
Oh, nice.
So they had kind of given up. They did all of those things we just talked about and hunted and so forth for the dog around the neighborhood, checked with neighbors. It had been missing since December 15th, and the whole community got involved in the search. And they don't really know where the dog was for 9 days, but when he got back, he was in good health. And he just got on his back legs and jumped up and hit the doorbell. And they answered the door, and there he was. Wouldn't that be that'd be kind of a sight, wouldn't it? So now they've decided to put a microchip in and also have the dog spayed. So maybe that's why it wandered. But that's a good story because it doesn't always happen when you lose a pet, especially one that's part of the family.
Yeah, exactly.
Which most pets become part of the family. And sometimes there's those stories about like a cat or a dog that, well, they've made movies about it, right? Where they somehow get on a truck or something and get moved many states away and make their way all the way back home. And that happens too. They have that homing device that we as humans don't have, and sometimes make it back after maybe accidentally getting on a trailer and getting hauled to Wyoming or something like that. So, yeah. I mean, that's how we got our 2 cats. They rode in underneath a car from outside of town. They get up there, and next thing you know, they're going on a trip they didn't plan on going on. So
it's kind of a good reminder this time of year as it gets colder. Kind of go not only start your engine, that might not be enough, especially if it's a quieter car, but kind of tap around and maybe get a stick and tap up in there, try to scare the cats away that are getting some warmth inside your engine, especially if you get home in the later evening and your engine is warm. They'll get up in there to stay warm and fall asleep, and then you can start your car in the morning and they'll still be in there and hitch a ride that they didn't anticipate taking. So just be careful with that too.
We just recently lost the naughty teenager. Had been with us for a number of years, but the old 9 lives of a cat story. Did just what you're talking about. Got up into the engine compartment of a car. I think it was our car, because Joan was heading down the highway, down by the Catholic Church. And all of a sudden, she's seen out of the corner of her eye this cat just zooming across from the car into a yard and beyond. And she went hunting for the naughty teenager, and she eventually came back. Talk about lucky. It actually looked like someone had taken clippers that you would clip your hair with and just went right around her body because there was no hair. And it had
it was like a belt or something?
Had to be the belt.
Oh, my goodness.
It was right down to where it just nicked the skin a little bit. Didn't really harm it, but the hair was gone in a circle all the way around the body.
Holy cow. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, cats do have a way of both finding themselves in an interesting situation and getting out of them.
Yeah.
That's how we found one of our cats. I assume it fell out from underneath a vehicle in front of us right outside of Riverdale on our way to Kearney
one
weekend a couple years ago. To this day, he has about half of a tail because it was just gone.
Yeah.
And we picked him up. He was a little bloodied and beaten up. I mean, he had fallen out of a car going 50 miles an hour, and he's still around to this day, and he's the best best hunter ever. But yeah, that was his first experience, and
durable.
Whenever you come across a cat that's at their lowest, scariest point, I don't think he's forgotten it.
I bet not.
He knows who picked him up out of the road, and everyone else was just driving around him, swerving around him, and I probably could have gotten rear-ended for how fast I stopped to try to save him. And yeah, he's stuck around.
Well, that's the best kind.
I can't believe
that.
That belt, though.
Yeah.
It had to have been rolled through the belt, which would mean you would think it'd go through like a pulley or something like that,
I don't know.
too.
It was just all the way, just like you
Man.
took a Clippers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And Joan went off trying to find it. She's probably going to correct me on some of this when I get home, when I tell stories like
Yeah,
this.
you gotta get the story straight.
But I can tell you, I know it was just
it's a little circle right
a
around
little circle. Yeah. Here's the Teskey Brothers on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Teskey Brothers with Oceans of Emotions. new song released in 2024, but sounds like it could have been released in about 1967 or 8. Has that soul sound to it. Coffee is always controversial. Is it bad for you? Is it good for you? 1 cup a day, a good thing for you? Too many cups a day, bad? Now they say coffee can reduce the risk of head and neck cancers.
Specifically, huh?
Well, according to this.
Interesting.
Yeah, to drink or not to drink coffee, that is the question. If you would like to reduce your risk of certain cancers, then drink up. It seems coffee provides more than just caffeine boost. It also contains antioxidants, which may help reduce head and neck cancer. New research reveals that heavy coffee drinkers had a 30% lower risk of the oral cavity cancer and 22% lower risk of throat cancer compared to non-coffee drinkers. Decaf coffee and tea also show similar benefits. So enjoy that cup of joe and have another. Now, the downside of drinking too much coffee is the chance of heartburn. Coffee can cause heartburn, especially if you hadn't had breakfast with it. And it can kind of jack you up, especially when you first start drinking it. But I think as time goes by, you have that cup of coffee in the morning, and it picks you up just a little bit, but not as much as it did when you first started drinking it, like a lot of other things, I guess.
Well, it's got a lot of qualities that are similar to other things in our society that we put people in jail for.
Exactly.
In a lot of ways, it is a drug.
It's caffeine.
You use it the first couple of times and drink it, and picks you right up, gets you through the rest of the day. You string a couple more of those days together, and it doesn't quite hit you the same way. I mean,
so you drink more.
Yeah. So what else do we listen about that has those same qualities? I personally don't enjoy the taste of it enough to drink it regularly. I'll drink. If you see me drinking a cup of coffee, it's purely to pick myself up because I'm running on empty.
Yeah.
But I'm still on that side of I'll have maybe a cup of coffee every 10 or 15 days.
Oh, wow.
But if I drink more than a cup, I do not like the way it makes me feel.
Well, it can make you jittery.
It messes with me. It is horrible. So, and I know there's a lot of people out there that are 4 or 5 cup a day person or even more that are like, man, forgot what that was like.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, it's not really even doing anything for you.
I find mine gets cold a lot if we're here on the show. And I've been sitting down with Joan and having a cup of coffee before I come out to work, which I have never done before because I always was the sign-on guy. Now that Jack is here on KCNI at 6, rather than 5:30, I've been getting here at 6:30. So I'll have a cup with Joan, a real quick cup, and then come to work. But I find that a lot of times, the coffee gets cold because we get to talking and yakking and have guests in. Next thing I know, I don't want to drink it. So I think I pour a lot of coffee, but I don't drink as much as you might think. But I remember, like what you're talking about, I was never a coffee drinker. I was in my 20s, I guess, probably mid 20s probably. And I was working out at my uncle and my dad's shop putting together grain bins. And they always stopped at 10 in the morning and had a cup of coffee and then about 3 in the afternoon. And I didn't really care for coffee at that time, but there was really nothing else to drink. So I'd have a cup. And then I noticed after a while that it'd get to be about 3 o'clock and something was calling my name, and it was a cup of coffee.
That's how it starts.
I'm going, oh boy, I need to do something. What is it?
Plus, it's one of those things like, back then, coffee breaks in the mid-morning and then mid-afternoon were kind
Everybody
of the thing.
did it.
So everyone was taking a coffee, and if you didn't drink coffee, you didn't get a break. So you're like, oh, well.
Yeah.
I better drink some coffee. Kind of like the smoking breaks of the 80s and 90s. If you didn't smoke, you weren't getting a break. So a lot of people started smoking because they weren't going to get a break otherwise.
Well, puff on a cigarette so you can stop working for a little while.
Yeah.
Sure, like with a cup of coffee, I could have said to my uncle and my dad, you guys go ahead and have a cup. I'll just continue working. That didn't happen.
Yeah. What's going to be the next modern day addiction that causes breaks?
That's legal, to have breaks.
Yeah. Who knows?
Oh, you have these energy drinks. Maybe that's what.
Oh, boy.
I don't drink those. I've never had any of those.
Yeah, maybe planned energy drink breaks. Maybe we're on the brink of those happening.
I think, I don't know what the law is now. I guess you'd have to talk to the Department of Labor, but I think
it's every 2.5 hours you're required a 10-minute break.
2.5 hours, man.
I think.
Wow. We don't do that around here. Of course, we stop and chat whenever we feel like it.
Yeah, if we wanted to be work. It's kind of one of those things. Or like, factory or assembly line work. It's kind of a lot harder to mix in a 10-minute break.
Yeah.
Casually throughout your day.
It is different. That's a different deal because, if you're putting something together, you're driving a fork truck, the only way you're going to get a break is stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here in this business, you just chat on your way by or take a break of your own. And I guess we just don't do set breaks anymore. I don't remember that ever happening in this business much because, well, there's the privilege of just, chatting when you find the time, and everybody around here is a chatter. So, and
if you were doing a live, everybody always had their song that was their go-to when they needed a bathroom break. So
right.
if you were during a live shift and you were playing some music, if you heard Freebird come on, that.
Oh man,
Jeremy was in the bathroom. You needed a break.
Yeah. A lot of people that worked back in those times, Leonard Skinner, Grateful Dead, they were all great for taking a break. Here's the Black Keys. This will be about a 2.5-minute break called Wild Child.
CBS News special report. Jimmy Carter's death has retired CBS News White House correspondent Peter Mayer, remembering Carter's rise to power.
He basically came out of political nowhere to win the White House. To some, he was seen as a liberal, and he was socially liberal on many issues. He was also pro-business, but also concerned about the environment.
Carter friend and advisor Stuart Eisenstadt on his presidential achievements.
Is deregulation of all transportation modes, airlines bringing air travel to the middle class, railroads, trucking, telecommunications, which made possible the whole cable revolution, just absolutely changed the entire dimension of our economy.
Many say Carter was a better ex-president. His take in 2014.
In my opinion, I did the best I could when I was president. I'll let history judge the result of what I did.
CBS News special report. I'm Peter King.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
My husband and I love an exciting adventure, especially in a stylish SUV. The first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek is meant to be shown off with its all-terrain tires for rocky trails and snowy roads. Its tubular roof rack for hauling gear, and its rugged flair that stands out off-road. Adventure calls in the first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek. Head to nissanusa.com to see it today. Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Cargo and load capacity limited by weight and distribution. Always secure cargo. Heavy loading of the vehicle with cargo, especially on the roof, will affect the handling and stability of the vehicle.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Steve DeSager.
In the Sunday night NFL game in Washington, the Commanders in overtime beat Atlanta 30-24, so Washington clinches a playoff berth, and that makes the LA Rams NFC West champs. Seattle is out. Next weekend, the Sunday night finale will be Minnesota at Detroit to decide that division and the number one seed in the NFC. Minnesota won its 9th straight game, beating Green Bay 27-25. Miami's still alive in the AFC playoff chase after the Dolphins won at Cleveland 20-3. The Giants had lost 10 in a row, but they beat Indianapolis 45-33. The Colts have been eliminated. Wins for the Raiders and Jaguars. Tampa Bay 48-14 over Carolina. The Bucs will be in the playoffs next week with a win against New Orleans. Buffalo clinched a 2 seed in the AFC after ripping the Jets 40-14. Philadelphia 41-7 over Dallas. Philly clinched the NFC East title with that win.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Chance for rain becoming mixed precipitation today, otherwise overcast. High temperatures reach up to 41, northwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, mixed precipitation likely changing to all snow, lows around 23. About an inch of snow tonight with another dusting Wednesday night. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Currently 37 and cloudy. Winds not a big factor so far today out of the east-southeast. Barometric pressure bouncing around a little bit, maybe up a point at 29.58. Humidity at 79%. Had some light rain earlier and reports of rain in the area. Nothing real significant. We had a trace this morning, so we're still stuck on 1/100th of an inch for the month of December. High yesterday was beautiful, 55 yesterday afternoon. Again, 37 and cloudy currently here at Broken Bow. Jeremy Shipe has a couple things he wants to tell you about, or at least one thing.
Yeah, I want to talk about Nebraska Land Hearing Center. One thing that you can do in the new year is prioritize your hearing. If you're tired of having to lean over, and if there's a time that you discover it, it's probably during the holidays, right? You're leaning over, having to have people speak more directly into your ear. So visit Nebraska Land Hearing Center. Roxanne is board-certified hearing instrument specialist with over 35 years of experience, and she's right in Broken Bow. There's no need to worry and struggle with your hearing in the new year. She offers free hearing evaluations and office calls, free extended warranties on new hearing aids, extended discounts for new and returning patients for buying local, and pricing available to fit all budgets. There's no need to travel. State-of-the-art tech is right here in central Nebraska. Call 308-384-3852 to make an appointment with Nebraska Land Hearing Center. They're located in the Broken Bow Chamber Building. The business name is right there on the glass window in front. Again, the number is 308-384-3852 for Nebraska Land Hearing Center in Broken Bow.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy. Shipe. Also, Juan, good morning. Juan Silva says, good morning. Have a nice Monday. Gentlemen, coffee theme you're having sounds interesting. Thanks. Yeah, it is kind of interesting that it can be good for you, according to the study, and reduce chances of throat cancer, etc., and make you hyper and give you heartburn all at the same time.
There were talks that there were going to be some changes made in the coffee industry as far as pricing. I'm not sure if those have hit yet, being someone that doesn't consume much coffee or buy ground coffee or anything like that. But they were saying that they were having trouble with some of the, or was it coffee or chocolate? I can't remember. I can't remember if it was coffee or cocoa. One of the two was having some struggles in the climate where they normally harvest it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was going to drive the price up, but there was such a back supply that it wasn't going to affect things for a little while. But I can't, now that they both start with C, can't remember if it was chocolate, AKA cocoa, or coffee. So,
well,
be on the lookout. Your coffee and or chocolate prices might be moving.
There you go. You heard it on the breakfast show.
Great reporting there.
Well, at least you're honest enough to admit that it might be one or the other.
Yeah. If I was a national news media, I probably would have just printed it, published it, and called it good and let everyone panic and have it be wrong.
Yeah, that's quite likely. Here's Teddy Swims. Teddy Swims. That one's called The Door. On the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Tomorrow, the food pantry will be open from 1 until 3 p.m. And the Goodwill truck is scheduled to be in Rochambeau in the former Gary's parking lot through Friday or when filled. And please, when you bring your good, clean, used items, fill front to back. Do not leave them outside, and don't just put them in the back of the trailer there because that makes it hard for the next person. And if we do it right, they'll continue to bring the trailer.
Yep. Good thing to keep in mind.
Yep. Right on, Jeremy. Says using cash is good for you.
Who says that?
This particular article.
Oh.
Yeah.
My wife would agree with that.
I like cash myself. Buying stuff with Venmo, Google Play, or Apple Pay makes your life easier. Maybe even better for you, ? But cold, hard cash, this is a recent study, shows that using cash apps make it harder for you to understand how much disposable income you really have. The legal tender helps you get a perspective on your spending. When you open up that wallet and there's $10 in there and you run a little low, you know it. Using a card, not so much. So putting cash in your hand feels pretty good, and you know when you let it go, right?
Well, how many times have you put a 20 in your wallet, or, you got some cash when you went to the ATM or something like that, or you went to the bank and made a deposit and got some cash back, and then 5 days goes by. It doesn't feel like you've gone anywhere or done anything, but you go to get in your wallet on that 6th day and you're down to a few ones. You're like, man, when you sit there and try to think back to what you spent the money on, a lot of the time you can't come up. You're like, man, I can't come up with where I spent that. That's what it's saying is, even when you're spending cash, you have a better idea of seeing physically how it's disappearing. And it's why a lot of people struggle with insane amounts of debt. It's easy to swipe that card or tap that button.
It is, and we all know it, but tend to ignore or forget the interest rates that you're paying on those debts that you're creating. So maybe that could be a resolution.
There you go. Yeah, cut into some of that debt a little bit.
I know you appreciate a good sports caster, a good sports person, and we lost a good one. Greg Gumbel passed away, veteran CBS sportscaster, Emmy winner, passed away on Friday. Saddened the whole world of sports and its fans. He's been around serving in the sports arenas for over 50 years.
Yeah.
And set some precedents. He was the first African-American announcer to do major sports events.
Yeah, what I'll remember him for was you just knew that it was selection time for the teams of the NCAA men's basketball bracket when you heard Mr. Gumbel's voice.
Yeah.
The CBS would turn on their broadcast, the camera would zoom in, and it'd be him, and he'd say, "It's time to choose." It's just amazing how into a routine we get with a lot of different things, and it's just going to feel different this year, and he was great.
Huge part of the CBS Sports family, including stints as the host of NFL Today, and you mentioned college basketball on CBS. Also spent several years with NBC Sports, ESPN, and MSG. In 2000, he made history calling the Super Bowl as the first black play-by-play announcer for a major sports championship. 2007, he received the Pat Summerall Award for excellence in broadcasting. Gumbel was 78 years of age when he passed away this past Friday. So.
Yep, and in his typical fashion, he was battling something tough, and he never once, complained or drew extra attention to it for any reason at all. And we talked about the Husker game earlier today. The young man that won the MVP, the running back for Nebraska, same kind of story. Unheard of for a player to stay with a team for 6 years and to be a a senior, that extra year coming out of college, stayed with Nebraska all through everything, all 6 years, was injured last year, couldn't play at all, came back, wasn't sure whether he was going to get playing time or not. There's always new players on the roster. Worked his way into some playing time, lost his mom in November, didn't tell anybody, and went home quickly during the bye week, came back, played hard, and won the MVP of the bowl game. You just don't hear about kids like that, especially with the world of NIL and things like that. He easily could have skipped town just like everyone else did, and he stayed committed, had different coaches, and he said, I like it in Lincoln. And I thought that was a really cool story.
A very cool story, and was able to play in front of family and friends because he's originally from the Bronx.
Yeah.
So he got to play the bowl game in front of his loved ones. And that really was icing on the cake as well. Our own Husker play-by-play announcer fighting cancer, unable to do the radio broadcast this past bowl game. Did about 10 games this year, was able to do 10. No complaints there either.
No. Yeah, he just is doing his thing. And, a lot of people speak highly of him, and I don't think there's anybody that does anything but that. That's for good reason.
Yeah, very good. All right, anything else you want to add here while we're stopped for a moment?
We can talk a little bit about a party that's coming up. Freddie and the gang would like to invite you to Sylvester's to ring in the new year with them on East Highway 2, and their friends from Victory Underground will be there to help rock the night away as well. If you love to rock, dance to kicking country, or jam to everything in between, Victory Underground is for you. They describe themselves as 2 rock for country and 2 country for rock. They're going to have party favors and jello shots to help ring in the new year at Sylvester's. They are the quiet little place that rocks, and that's certainly going to be the case on New Year's Eve. They would love to see you there.
All right. And it's probably been a while, but a guy by the name of Billy Bales has hit the dance floor at Sly's before and danced up a storm. Now, I don't know whether he'll do that this holiday week celebration or not, but he does have something to celebrate today.
He does. I have heard it is Billy Bales' birthday today.
Billy is, I believe, 72 today and still dancing.
Yes, he is. And he's Brent and I did a Broken Bow basketball game not that long ago, and Billy's goal was always to get back out on that basketball court and sweep the floor. And he was out there sweeping the floor just like he promised he would be, and that was a great sight to see. So, Billy, happy birthday to you. Thanks for listening and always supporting our sports broadcasts, and just being such a great person to have in the community.
You bet. And as you say, coming back from injuries of his own, going through rehab, and getting back to doing what he likes to do. Happy birthday, Billy. Charlie Crockett, $10 Cowboy, right here on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. A couple more things to take care of today, and we invite you to join us tomorrow at 7:30 for the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. I believe Brent Apperson will be back, and Jeremy will be doing all the things he normally does, getting everything ready for ball games and different things tomorrow. So we'll go back to a little bit more of a regular day, and then we won't. Then we'll have another holiday.
Yeah, so. Wednesday, Christmas, Wednesday, New Year's Day, kind of just throws a wrench into things in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Larry Bauer, who was our sales consultant, who I know you know, and always enjoy talking with him on the phone. We both realized that we're both kind of humbugs when it comes to a holiday in the middle of the week. Because Larry says, it just screws everything up.
Yeah, it is a little bit easier to kind of have that kind of mentality with it when it's there in the middle.
Yeah, but still enjoy the time off. And I know you did with your kids and everything. Christmas with kids your age is what it's all about. I mean, that's the most fun Christmases can be, when the kids' eyes light up and they're excited about things. I know Eli's a little young yet to get the gist, but he will next year.
Yeah, Eli just had a checkup this last Friday, and he's just over 15 pounds. He's 26 inches long. And Isabel, you mentioned kind of being old enough to kind of understand things a little bit more. This year, I mean, she turns 3 in February. So this year is kind of the first year where, you hand her a present and she knows what to do with it, sort of thing. You don't have to, walk her through it.
No.
So that was really, really fun.
Oh, yeah. That's the best. Sure is. And there's probably some folks that are going to be celebrating Christmas yet this weekend. I know a lot of folks have 2 or 3 weekends of Christmas because it's hard to divide everything up with family members and see everybody you need to see. So if you're doing that, hope you enjoy that. Or if you're getting together with family and friends to bring in the new year, hope you enjoy that as well. Again, we want you to get to and from safely. We'll watch the weather for you here at KCNI, KBBN. I can look through the shade outside. Looks like there's a little bit of a breakup in the cloud cover right now. So there's a little bit of a chance of maybe some sun peeking through, although they're talking about more chances of a little mixed moisture here later on. So please keep that in mind.
We were talking about coffee earlier. A place that has really delicious coffee is Brewbaker's Coffee House and Gifts in Arnold, a historic destination, a full barista bar and gift shop. They have something for everyone. They're open 8 to 5 Tuesday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 until 3. So starting tomorrow, they're going to be open for the next 6 days. Make sure you go in, try their breakfast burritos, bagels, and homemade baked items, fresh squeezed lemonade, Consuela handbags, yard decor, fun pickleball sets, fresh baked goods, home decor, and every week they have a customer of the week. So stop in and give yourself a chance at a free beverage. And this week, starting tomorrow when they open up, they will have all Christmas decor marked at 50% off. They would like to say they appreciate your business and they thank you for supporting local small businesses such as themselves. Happy New Year from everyone at Brewbaker's Coffee House and Gifts in Arnold. And we say thank you to them for being a small business serving our small communities in the area.
And for being part of the breakfast show. Christy was in earlier. She didn't seem especially happy to be back to work. Did you kind of notice that?
Yeah, she took a couple of days off. And are you going to check in on her?
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay.
If she's not on the phone.
Yes.
Hi, Christy.
Good morning.
Man, the phone really picks up that sigh really well.
Aren't you happy to be back with your radio family?
Well, I could have taken another week, but then I would have been missing you.
Oh, hey, you know what? I'll take that.
That's better than I thought you'd say.
Yeah. If you would have said month, I would have been hurt, but a week I'll take.
Oh, thanks, Christy.
Uh-huh.
Welcome back.
Is that all you needed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, thanks.
Yeah.
She's like, don't you have any business to conduct or any actual questions to ask?
Have a great day, everybody. We'll close with the Red Clay's Trace. Thanks, Jeremy.